Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 3rd. You start with this card that says Angels are watching. It says there's nothing to worry about. Angels are watching over you. You have this Pisces card. It says boundaries. Set and honor your boundaries to avoid being taken advantage of. Yes, definitely. Especially since we have the two nodes in Virgo and the North Node is in Pisces. Definitely a good time for you to kind of like focus on boundaries with people. And pretty much anything that's going on in your life, I would set those boundaries. But also could be like, setting boundaries with yourself as well. Kind of like not doing things, making sure that you aren't doing things that you hate. Would be a good thing to focus on as well. And, especially from a spiritual perspective with Neptune and Saturn in Pisces as well. So your boundaries are going to be like extra important because we have so much energy in your opposite sign and also your sign. You start here in your current general energies with the King of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. The King of Cups would be your emotions. There is a little bit of love here, so I do feel that for some of you, this could be a person. Could be a water sign, doesn't have to, but you have the Page of Cups as well. But for the most part, I really feel this is talking about your emotions. The King of Cups, he has very deep emotions. He is sitting in the middle of the ocean. And the whole point of the card is that he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. And he's sitting in these choppy waters here on the card, but he's not really worried about that, because he has explored his emotions. He knows how he feels about things. So before you do anything this week, I would, if you need to take some extra time to think about like what you're committing to, especially if you're committing to things this week or if you're saying yes to things, it probably would be a good week to take some extra time to make sure that you actually want to commit to the things you're committing to. And that's really the feeling I get off of this card is that it's about your feelings. It's about, honoring your feelings first, Virgo. Maybe that's a good way to put it. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about taking the lead. Two of Wands is also about leaving a comfort zone. He's standing at the top of his castle, and he has the whole world in his hands here. And, he's kind of, what he's done is done. This wand right here stands on its own. And so he has finished his project of building this castle. And now it's time for him to go and build something new. Now it's time for him to go look for something new. And he just needs to realize that what he has built kind of like stands on its own. And there's nothing more for him to do here. I feel like I've said this to you a bunch of times before, Virgo. It seems to me like a lot of you are like either leveling up or, you're just entering into a new reality. And you could be... But I feel like Virgo definitely needs to realize that like what you have done in life is not going anywhere. It's like you're not... It's like, yeah, some of those things you might not do anymore, but you still have the experience. You still have like the knowledge and the wisdom. And there's definitely something about that in this reading for you that it's really saying like you're not leaving anything behind. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords can represent something that's like dead, done, over with. But again, the Ten of Swords can kind of represent a blessing in disguise. He's making a symbol with his hand here, and it represents a blessing. It's the same symbol the Hierophant is making on his card. And so there could be some sort of blessing in disguise for you, or you could be experiencing some sort of blessing in disguise in your life. And, obviously that would be a good thing. So if something is coming to an end for you, Virgo, it's probably a good thing, not really a bad thing. And it is a positive reading. I mean, this is the only, like, really, technically challenging card that you have here. Personally, I like the Ten of Swords because, again, it's like what the situation he is in is dead, done, over with. There's nothing more for him to do there. So, let's see. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles. Definitely could be communicating with a new person. You have 3 pages here, and, pages can represent admirers. Normally, we consider the Knights in the Tarot to be messengers, but I do feel that the Page of Pentacles can also be a messenger or someone who delivers a message. So if you're looking for love, this could definitely be like a new person who's communicating with you or wanting to communicate with you. With the Two of Wands, you have the Page of Swords. I feel you are curious about something new. Again, the Two of Wands, he's kind of like he's standing where he's always been, and he's looking out into the world. He has the whole world in his hands. The Page of Swords is like curiosity, and so it might be a good week for you to like embrace your curiosity. The Page of Swords follows his curiosity, and he just, learns about whatever new things he's interested in. in his life. And I feel that would be a great thing for you to do this week, is just like follow your curiosity or your inspirations or whatever's exciting you, and be like a little bit of a detective. I've been saying to people, we had Pluto retrograde, and Pluto is direct now, but we're going to be in the shadow for a while. And so Pluto retrograde is really good for getting to the bottom of things, or really getting down to the bottom of anything that you could be dealing with in your life. So you could be getting to the bottom of something. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, the card of expansion and growth and expanding past something. So a lot of you with this Ten of Swords could be expanding past things that no longer serve you, or anything that is dead, done, over with. Even the Two of Wands, again, wants you to level up. Like I said, he has completed that castle. He feels like, the whole point of the Two of Wands is that he feels like he didn't enjoy the journey because he didn't. He just rushed to the finish line. He didn't enjoy the process. And so, again, the Three of Wands could be encouraging you to go find things that excite you and inspire you. I do think we're in a little bit of a weird time with Neptune and Pisces. The thing with Neptune and Pisces is we have to be inspired to do something. The problem is we have to get started to get inspired. and so it's like, to get started in the first place, we have to feel inspired, but we don't. And so we have to go find that inspiration, which is hard because we feel like we have to be inspired in the first place. It's kind of like a weird paradox or whatever you want to call it. And so the Three of Wands is about like exploring, just getting out into the world. If you don't know what excites you or fulfills you, go and just explore things and see what maybe could excite you or, inspire you, because that's where you're going to find your true fulfillment. And I kind of feel like that with the King of Cups, his first row at least, is talking about your true fulfillment. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this past life card. It says past events, people from the past life connections, history, memories, familiarity, and old soul. You have a surprise visitor. It says surprise, detours, unplanned events, expect the unexpected, shocking, different outcome than expected. So I would say expect the unexpected here, Virgo. Definitely could be attracting a past life person, though, if you're looking for love. I mean, love looks pretty good in this reading. And so if you want it, it's here. Again, I kind of do feel this is saying to expect the unexpected right now. I'm not even, trying to be mysterious or clickbaity or anything. It's the astrology, definitely Neptune and Pisces is expect the unexpected. The other thing to think about with Neptune and Pisces, especially when it's retrograde, is we can have a dream, like an idea of like something that we think would bring us fulfillment or, would bring us money or whatever. And it's like, yes, it's true that that dream would probably bring you fulfillment. But it's going to look completely different if you bring it down into the 3D. And I don't really have any good examples, but let's say you wanted to start a YouTube channel. It's like if you got started now under Neptune and Pisces, which you should for sure, then what might happen is maybe in the future what it turns into is like a podcast. It's like originally it was a YouTube channel, then it turns into a podcast. That's the thing that actually will make you successful. That's like very Neptune and Pisces. Again, it starts as one thing, turns into something else that is more fulfilling. And so that's why we should expect the unexpected, because we have to be flexible. We have to be more spontaneous right now as well. And if we do that, we will be led to the right thing. You have the Six of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of success and a victory, being celebrated. You've been getting these cards of attention. You have the Three of Pentacles, and you've been getting the Three of Pentacles with me quite a bit, Virgo. So, there could be a lot of attention for you in work. The trick with the Three of Pentacles for sure is showing off. The thing about the Six of Wands is that he's been to war, and now he's coming back from war and he's being celebrated. So it's like he had to go through something that was very difficult to have the victory in the first place. And I kind of feel that here with the Six of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. It's definitely been kind of like a long journey. It's been a long, difficult journey, maybe with a lot of battles that you've had to go through. The Three of Pentacles is about putting your work on display. It's a card of quality work. It says you have skills, which I always say to you, Virgo, you're the only sign that gets this message about putting your skills on display like this. And, some other people get something similar, but yours is different. I just feel different for Virgo. I feel like these are hermit skills. These are skills that maybe you hide from, or, skills that you really haven't shown off yet. And so I feel a lot of you could really be showing off those skills and putting your skills out into the world. And I definitely would, because there's clearly a lot of attention for you. He's getting credit for a job well done. And so there, in Six of Wands could also be credit. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success or quick conclusion. So again, if you're putting your skills out there, I think that you will have a quick success coming in for you here, Virgo, or you will have a quick victory in your life. And I feel like you need to allow it to happen is really what this reading is saying, or this part of the reading, I should say. Because, again, I feel a little bit of that Hermit Virgo energy of not, putting things out there. The other thing about the Eight of Wands is that all those wands are pointing in one direction. The other problem I have with Neptune and Pisces is I think it makes us see too many directions. We get a little bit more scattered maybe, and I feel for a lot of you having a focus or just like picking a focus. The other thing is like I was saying, expect the unexpected. The thing with Neptune and Pisces, how you start is not how you're going to finish something. You could have 1,000 ideas, and maybe only one of those is right. And you might be thinking to yourself, I have too many ideas. I need to pick the right one. Actually, you don't. All you have to do is pick one, get started, and you will be led to the right idea. Because again, the goal, the achievement of the goal is going to come through inspiration, right? But like I said, you have to get started to be inspired in the first place, right? So I know that's confusing, but it really isn't. And it's kind of like the hero's journey. It's like part of the hero's journey is when the wise mentor appears on the hero's journey. And that's kind of like what I think we're all waiting for. We're waiting for a person or someone to give us answers and say, this is the right path. But really, again, we have to get started on a path first before that happens. With the Six of Wands, you have the High Priestess. Yeah, a lot of Pisces energy in this reading, like 3 here plus the Pisces card. So could be dealing with a Pisces, could also just be your intuition. The High Priestess sometimes I think is about exceeding your own expectations. She has no roof over her head. And the whole point is that there are no limits to what she can accomplish. The only limit is what she thinks she can accomplish. So I feel that you should be pushing it at this time. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Justice card. Yeah, Justice is balance, and Justice is cause and effect, which, again, you get started on a journey, you try some things, whatever works, keep doing it. Whatever doesn't work, get rid of it. That's how you can follow your inspirations with the Justice card. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, you have the Four of Swords twice. We have Mercury retrograde coming up on the 9th of November. So Mercury retrograde is always a good time for resting, relaxing, recovering, meditating, healing, taking care of yourself, and, all that other stuff. So I would say that, Four of Swords comes up all the time during Mercury retrograde. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this 4th house card. It says home. You have this Ceres card. It says nurture on it. With the Four of Swords twice, I would definitely be taking care of yourself, healing, nurturing yourself. There is something about November in like being healthy. I really am not too worried about a Virgo being healthy, but what I would say is just make sure that you're being healthy. A lot of you could be like nurturing your skills as well from the home. So if you have like a skill that you're learning or working on or thinking about putting on display with that Three of Pentacles, this could be something that you do just from the comfort of your own home, and or it could be like a side hustle or side business or home-based business that you're working on. I think it's a good time to work on those things. You have the Page of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Page of Swords. I do feel love here, so again, for those of you that want love, definitely could be an admirer or a new person that's coming in for you here. I feel like, again, expect the unexpected as well. Like, you might see this person one way. Like, I think it's good, right? It's like you see them one way, but they're actually something else. You have the King of Cups, you end with the King of Wands. It's like you might think this person is very kind, caring, all those other great things. But they might be like a little bit more of a badass here with the King of Wands, which, again, not a bad thing. It's like they're probably both, And so you could be finding like a really good, solid person here if you're looking for love. For all of you, whether you're looking for love or not, the Page of Cups is about your dream. He has this fish in this cup. And I always say he needs to grab onto that fish and he needs to bring it down to earth. He needs to make sure that that dream gets brought down to earth. And so I feel a lot of you, it's like you could be capturing your dream at this time or part of your dream. You have the Four of Swords, again, resting, relaxing, recovering. He is hoping and praying for blessings. There is a person right here in the stained glass window blessing another person. And you end with the Ten of Pentacles, which is great. So there definitely could be some blessings that you've been asking for that you want that could be coming in for you. The Three of Pentacles definitely, I feel, saying like, for you to get these blessings, you have to put your work on display for sure with the Four of Swords. It does seem to be like a very spiritual week this week for whatever reason. Mercury retrograde can be a very spiritual time. We can, connect more to our higher selves or our guides or ancestors, whatever you believe in. And, I think it would be a good time to do that. You have the Page of Swords. Again, Mercury retrograde is also great for curiosity. And again, Mercury isn't going retrograde till the end of the week or whenever that is. I have no clue. But, the 9th of November. But, we're in the shadow. Might as well be in the retrograde. So anything you can do to follow your curiosity or dig into things that you're interested in would be very successful. Even the, the Ten of Pentacles has an alternative meaning. The Ten of Pentacles can represent hidden or secret information. It's not really hidden or secret. We just have to find it. And so, if there are things you don't know, or if there are things that you're trying to learn, or things that you're trying to improve in your life, it would be a great time to learn and look for information, look for answers. With the Page of Cups here, you have the Star card. Amazing. The star is like hope, faith, renewal, a wish that you're trying to manifest. The star is about focus, and we have that Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, all those wands are pointing in one direction. Same thing with the star. The star, we have this one star right here. This star is your guiding light. It is like picking one thing to work towards, and just, that's it. You make that your focus, and you see it through to the end. And so I feel that for a lot of you. The other thing about the star is that she's kind of dipping her toes into the water here. But I always say, I think the star needs to dive into that pool. That is the pool of universal consciousness. But it basically says you can't just dip your toes into something. You have to make the full commitment. High Priestess, she has unlimited potential, but it's just potential. Potential means nothing, right? And so I think if you give something, something that you're trying to create here, obviously, everything you got, then, it will be very successful. And so I would give it your all. With the Four of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. Yeah, Three of Cups is like celebration, happiness, spending time with people who matter to you. This has been a big theme for you, Virgo, this year, I'm pretty sure, 2025, that we've been talking a lot about people in general, the people you surround yourself with, the people in your life, the people who truly support you, the people who have your best interest at heart. And, again, it's funny that we have the Four of Swords twice and then the Three of Cups twice right here. So it's clearly going to be a very important time for you to surround yourself with people who are, who kind of heal you in some ways. They could just heal you by having a good vibe, right? So spending more time with those people is good. With the Page of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles, all repeating cards in this row right here. So Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. It's funny that I also said, Ten of Pentacles can represent finding information. The alternative meaning to the Ten of Pentacles is that this older guy here is not the patriarch of the family, but he is a beggar who is coming and bringing this family a gift. And they have just had a baby on this card. And it kind of represents, someone who is giving you something who has nothing to give. But really what it means is that sometimes we can find information that helps us that's unrelated to whatever we are working on. And so that's kind of the research I feel that you should be doing right now, Virgo. And also telling your brain that you're looking for answers. I think I just said this to you because I seem to remember it was you that I was talking about Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. I was talking about that book. And in that book, he talks about how, the point of the book is to tell your brain you're looking for answers, literally just talking to your brain and saying, I'm looking for an answer to XYZ, whatever it is. And when you do that, your brain finds it, right? Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. And so if you tell your brain you're looking for answers, it will find them. And, it's definitely something that I think would be a good practice for you. Like I said, I think you can listen to that book for free on YouTube. So definitely a book you should look into. Next, for the good stuff, I can't make this one up. You have this classroom card. Didn't even see it. It says self-evaluation, growth, and performance. Learning. You have this performance card. It says expression, roles, and vulnerability. Yes, I think you do feel the pressure to perform. But I think what Virgos need to do is perform for themselves. The only person that you should be trying to impress is yourself. This is definitely true astrologically as well. Pluto in Aquarius, right? We have to be an inspiration to other people. But that doesn't mean we tell people what to do. We just be who we want to be, and that's it. That's how we do it. Also, everything else that's going on. Next year, Neptune in Aries, definitely we should be listening to ourselves more and only impressing ourselves. And so I think that's what you should work on here, Virgo. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the King of Wands. This week has been very good for money. And, I think that this is money that we all have to work for. We're not going to just magically get it. But, if you put in the work to put something on display that you have created, it feels like something you're creating, Virgo, with that Three of Pentacles. Like, which is like maybe different than just work. It's like something creative or a creative thing or whatever. And if you do that, it literally could lead to some improvements. You also have the Six of Wands and the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, which can kind of represent like a raise or a promotion. So if you're hoping for a raise or promotion, it might be time to ask, or it might be time to look for one, or it might be time to look for a new position because it clearly exists. You have the Three of Cups again. So, really surrounding yourself with those people who lift you up. I really do get this feeling, though, for Virgo, that, like, Virgo is done trying to impress people, which I think is a good thing. Again, the only person you should be trying to impress is yourself. The star says that you have the opportunity to be the star. But, really, the trick is to do it for yourself. It's funny to me. I'm just going to go on a little bit of a tangent here, Virgo. It's funny to me that all this stuff about like celebrities and everything is coming out right now. Like, why do you think that is? Because attention is changing, right? And because, we like gone are the days where people can do bad things and get famous. It's like, it's not going to work like that anymore. The people who are going to be famous in the future are going to be famous for doing the right thing. Star. We have to be an inspiration with Pluto and Aquarius. That's why I talk about this all the time, right? It's probably the best thing we can do. And this doesn't mean you have to become famous. That's not even what it's about. It's about being an inspiration. And that might only be for like your child or your children or like one person in your life. One person is enough, right? And because if everybody did it, if everybody worked on being an inspiration right now, we would probably have a lot better of a world, right? And so that's really what it's about. But I think maybe you are realizing that, which is great. You have the King of Wands. King of Wands about being bold, being assertive. I just get this feeling, if you're attracting a person, they are very different than you think. Not in a bad way. I think this is in a good way. Like, I think you think they're good. King of Cups is good. Very kind, caring, loving, has good energy. But I think there's, like, more to meet than meets the eye to a person. So if you're attracting a person, or if you are attracted to a person right now, they're probably much deeper than you think. I don't know. I kind of do feel like you feel that, though. I call people like this onion people, because it's like you kind of like discover these layers over time, right? It's probably a bad analogy because onions stink, but what I would say here is that this is like a good onion person, not a bad one. Whatever. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Two of Swords. Something is going to go completely differently than you think. And again, I'm not trying to be mysterious here. It's just the time that we're in. She is thinking this or that, but there's this island behind her. And that island is how things are going to go. So, this is coming up in the good stuff. It's like, but this tells me that you shouldn't even worry about how things are going to go. Just get started and see where you're led. You know what I mean? It's like I said, especially for you and Pisces, but, we're reading for you right now. It's like you have to be inspired, and the things you create have to be inspired. Even next year, when Neptune leaves Pisces, it doesn't matter. You've been learning the lessons for years. You're going to be implementing these lessons for the rest of your freaking life. So, again, it's like you might as well get going on something because it's who the hell knows where it's going. With the Three of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. Again, really good week for money. There's something about money this week. It feels good. I feel like people are improving their finances. People could be doing things to have better money, or people could be just focused on money in general. With the King of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's looking at these pentacles and he's saying, like, is it worth it for me to work on these pentacles, or is there something better that I should be doing with my time? Again, I can't answer that question for you. Only you can answer that question. You have this tortoise card. It says slowly but surely getting ahead. There you go. So progress. That's the other thing that I would say is that, didn't you have a card that said that? Am I making that up? I might be making that up in my head. But, anyway, I feel like you're making progress, which is great. You have this career card. Definitely a career focus. Ten of Pentacles twice and the King of Pentacles are career cards. So there's either growth happening in your career, or maybe you're getting more recognition for what you do. Even your next card says you are highly thought of, Virgo, and I think you need to think like that as well. You need to think like I think this would be a good thing for Virgo to brainwash themselves into, is like you could be an authority, especially for those of you that have like a side hustle, a business, or whatever. Even the King of Wands, he's a little bit of a visionary, right? If we say that the King of Wands is you, Virgo, then I kind of feel like this reading is pushing you to be a little bit more aggressive in how you like promote yourself or put yourself out there. I think because you can. You have this unicorn. It says use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Very intuitive week. So yes. You have this yoke. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. Sometimes I like this card because sometimes I think frustration is the thing that makes us change, right? So yeah, sure, maybe you're feeling frustrated, but it could be creating this positive change. So this looks pretty good, Virgo. I like it. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your week.